Hey house guests, welcome to today's Celebrity Big Brother 2 updates and spoilers. Our house guests of the day, we've got Ishrat Raji, Jason Morales, Jeanette Saylor, and Jenny Swendener. Thank you guys so much for the support. We really appreciate it and could not do this without you. So thank you from the bottom and top and middle of our hearts. Imagine hearts just had like a... I'm not going to get into it. But I just really quickly wanted to thank all of you guys for the birthday wishes yesterday. It was really sweet. And a couple of you were asking about my sweater that I was wearing. So I actually crocheted that myself. I used Karen Big Cakes. I believe the color was boysenberry. And I will leave a link in the info for the pattern that I used for that because it was not my pattern. I wish. But no. It's a lot of fun, so check it out. Alright, so back to Big Brother. When we left off yesterday, Team Fun is falling apart because of Tom's overplaying. He is freaking blowing it. It's hard to say though if he's doing it on purpose because like he wants to go out in a crazy blaze of chaotic glory or if he's really just like way overplaying. I don't know. Like it seems like the power's kind of gotten to his head, but it's really hard to tell with him what is real and what he's putting on for the show because he is an entertainer. This is what he does and he's always thinking like, how is this going to look on TV? How can this be edited? So it's hard to say if this is for real or if it's for show. So anyway, he wants to backdoor Ricky this week whether Ricky has the power of the publicist or not. You know, it's almost like he's using it as a cover like, oh my god, I think Ricky has it. Let's put him up. But he wants Ricky out anyway because he thinks he's a really strong player, which I think so too. He's super smart and athletic. So Kato's on board with his plan, but Lolo and Natalie are not. They don't want to keep Joey around because they think that he would target them if he were to win HOH, and they have a really good relationship with Ricky. So it's like a double bad if Ricky were to go. So Tom, this was really dumb. He tells Lolo and Natalie, I mean, I can get rid of Ricky without your votes. So it would be really awkward if you didn't want to go along with this plan, but like I could still carry it out if I wanted to. What the F are you doing? You do not say that to your allies. Oh. So Natalie and Lolo then go and spill to Ricky. And they're like, just so you know, Tom thinks that you have the power. And then Ricky's like, okay, so he's going to backdoor me? And Natalie's like, yeah, we told you that last night. Because like they've kind of told him already multiple times that Tom is, you know, weirded out. He's like scared of Ricky. So Ricky's like, yeah, but I don't think Tom is going to make that move based on a hunch. You know, there's got to be more to it. Like I said, the power is just a cover. He wants Ricky out regardless, so it doesn't matter. But Natalie is like, okay, well, what if he does make that move? What if he backdoors you? Ricky says, well, I'm probably going home, so hopefully he puts Tamar up. So then the girls are thinking, because both Lolo and Natalie are playing in the Power Veto competition, so they're like, oh, what are we going to do? Should we throw it? Should we fight for it? What do we do if we win? So they're considering not using the veto if they win, so then Ricky can't go up on the block. But that probably means that the alliance is definitely over because Tom and Kato want that veto to be used. So it's like they're directly defying the HOH's orders. So, the girls are just upset that they can't just stick with the 5 because they had a really good thing going and now it's turned into a whole big mess. So Ricky is like, all right, well, I'm going to go talk to Tom. And the girls are a little bit nervous about this because he's going to know that we talked to you, which is something that has come up in the past. You know, Tom is already aware that there's some information traveling from the girls to Ricky, so they're nervous about that. And Ricky's like, don't get caught up in Tom's paranoia. It's not good for your game. It's okay. I know how to talk to him without, like, implicating you. And they're like, okay. So Ricky leaves. He actually runs into Tom in the kitchen. And Ricky's like, Tommy boy, how's your paranoia doing today? And he says, everyone's talking about how paranoid you are. Oh my god. And you know how Ricky will, like, kind of insult somebody, but he's, like, kind of saying it in a joking way, but he's also kind of not, and it's, like, really awkward. So Tom was laughing, but Ricky's like, no, seriously, like, everyone's talking about how paranoid you are. So Tom's like, yeah, I'm just having fun with it. You know, I'm playing a character or whatever. And Ricky's like, well, it's shaking up everyone's trust in you. And Tom says, well, that sucks for them. Ah, let them eat cake. So then Ricky is asking Tom and Kato what the plan is, because Kato came in, and things are really tense and weird in this conversation, because obviously Kato and Tom want Ricky to go up on the block, but they're telling him, oh, the plan hasn't changed, meaning that Tamar would be the replacement nominee. So it's just like awkward, and this does not seem like a conversation between allies. So then Tom goes to his bathroom. Ricky's talking to Kato, and he's like, if you don't have trust in this game, you don't have anything. And Kato's like, so Tom goes back from the bathroom. They decide the three of them are going to move this chat up to the HOH room. So Ricky's like, all right, guys, I feel like this new twist has really put a dent in our alliance's ability to trust each other. Yeah. And Tom's like, why is that? Really? So Ricky's like, well, it doesn't feel as cohesive anymore. This twist is a distraction. It shouldn't matter. We have the numbers to get rid of somebody that we want, even if it's not our first choice because of the twist or whatever. We can still do something good here for our alliance, so it shouldn't matter. So then Kato's like, all right, how do you see it going down? So Ricky says, regardless of what happens today, meaning with the power of veto competition, we're all going to be fine. We have the numbers. It's going to be okay. We have Tom as the HOH this week. It's fine. And then he says next week there's still going to be 3 people outside of their alliance that they can get rid of. So he just doesn't get why like everybody's bugging out right now. So then Tom's like, okay, do you think Tamar has the power? He will not let it go. He is obsessed with finding out who has this power. And yes, she does. But they don't know that. So Ricky's like, I don't care who has it. It's driving people crazy. He's had enough of it. So then Tom's like, well, I would like to know who has it so I can flush it out this week and we don't have to worry about it anymore. And just keep in mind, too, they don't know exactly what it does or how long it lasts. So there's also that paranoia, which is freaking them out. So Ricky says, well, if you put Tamar up, we'll find out if she has it or not, right? Because if she has it, she'll probably use it. Right? So Ricky is saying, I just want you to know I have our alliance's best interests at heart. You have a strong team. You should use that to your advantage. And Tom's just like, yep. Like, it was super, super awkward. So Ricky is like, we just got to stick together and then we'll be able to get to the final 5. We're probably, you know, it's going to be way harder for us to make it there if we're not working together. Good point. All right. So meanwhile, Joey is talking to Natalie and Lolo in the hotel bedroom. This is a trio that we do not usually see converse. Obviously Natalie and Lolo, yeah, but Joey, I feel like I haven't really seen Joey talk to them that much. And when they do talk, it's usually Lolo yelling at him for something. So Tamar also joins them, and they're all sharing stories about how Tom is losing it this week and how he's like threatened all of them. Again, has he like threatened people? I don't know. I mean, game-wise, sort of, but that's just like a very strong word. I don't know. It always freaks me out. But anyway, Joey says that Tom is really showing all of his weaknesses right now because he's looking really insecure because he's feeling threatened and blah, blah, blah. So Joey says if Tom is vulnerable game-wise in the next few days, we don't even have to talk about it. He's out of here. We're going to get rid of him. Whoa! So look who decided to play, right? All of a sudden Joey's talking game and he is like telling all these stories. It was a real Joey story time and the girls were eating it up. I mean, they're practically sitting there like just like listening to these stories, and Joey's like doing all these impressions of everyone and they're all loving it. So then Lolo's like, okay, well, what's your game plan? You're up on the block. What are we gonna do here? So Joey's like, well, I want to win the veto and save myself. So then Lolo decides to drop some info. She reveals that Tom and Kato think that Ricky has the power and they want to backdoor him this week. So then they also tell Tamar that she was an option that the guys were considering and somebody that they were saying may have the power. And Tamar's just like, what? No. No, she's like, that's ridiculous. No. So then Joey pulls out his whole, wouldn't it be nice to have the people with the best energy in the house for the final week? He's always talking about like good energy and everything. Weren't these the people that he didn't want to make it to the end? Remember when he first presented this idea to Kato when Kato was HOH? And he was saying he wanted all the people with the best energy at the end. And he was dissing, like, Lolo, Tamar, Ricky. I don't think so much Natalie, but he did not want them at the end. But now it's working to his advantage. So he's like, yeah, let's all go to the end together. So he was, like, really laying it on thick, telling Lolo how wonderful she is. And she's going to find her perfect guy. And all this stuff. Like, it was sweet, but at the same time, I was like, come on, man. What are you doing? So the girls steer him back to gameplay. And he's like, I would like to see all of us make it to the end because we all have great energy, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, yes, that's nice. But, like, let's bring it back to this week. What are we going to do this week? And just before I say that, I want to mention that the three girls all had their Bibles out. So if anybody came in, they could pretend that they were having like a Bible study session. So a few times people did walk by or come in and Tamar would start reading like Bible passages loudly and it was pretty funny. But anyway, they're figuring out if Candy is still on the block, they feel like they would have the votes to get rid of her. So Joey's saying if the four of us work together this week, we can flip them on their heads. So then Joey's thinking, you know what, we're definitely going to be splitting up Kato and Tom as soon as possible. He's thinking that Kato should go first because then Tom is just going to unravel. And I would have to agree. I think Tom would be way worse off without Kato than Kato would be without Tom because Kato is definitely going to like make new alliances and get along with people very easily. I think Tom would have a much harder time with that. So then they're going through their options and they're realizing if Joey wins the power veto and pulls himself down, then Tom is still going to have power. He's going to get to put somebody else up. And they really don't want Ricky up on the block. So Joey then offers to throw the power veto competition. Oh my god. And then to take it even a step further, they come up with a new idea. Joey has agreed to do this. He says if he wins the power veto, he'll leave the nominations the same. He's going to say like, oh, I want to respect Tom's noms. He didn't say Tom's noms, but I couldn't help myself. And he said, it's all good because the three girls have agreed that they will vote Candy out over Joey. And then they'll just need one other person's vote. And they're figuring they're going to be able to convince Ricky to do this. So as long as they can secure Ricky's vote, this plan is a go. Damn, that's wild. So anyway, Natalie is then later talking to Ricky. She's letting him know what's up. And she's like, hey, Joey said if he wins the veto, he's going to stay on the block. And if we win power veto, we can keep the nominations the same and vote out Candy. Oh, Candy. But Ricky still seems convinced that Tom would put up Tamar as the replacement and not him. So he's like, are we breaking up the 5? What are we doing? Natalie's like, no. We're not going to break up the 5 yet. Because there's always that chance that Kato could win the HOH next week. So they want to make sure their bases are covered until it's really time to make a move here. So Ricky's like, well, if we're sticking to the 5, then we should just vote out Joey. And then next week, if one of us wins HOH, we can break up Tom and Kato. So Joey is like offering to stay up on the block and Ricky's like, we should vote him out. Isn't that crazy? So then Lolo joins them and they agree if they win the power veto, they're going to keep the nominations the same. They're going to pretend they're still with the 5 for now, but they're not really sure like how they're going to vote yet. But you got to take it one step at a time. So then Joey talks to Ricky next. They go over Joey's plan again and Joey drops some info that I think pulls Ricky in a bit closer. He's like, oh yeah, whenever I talk to Tom and Kato, they're talking like you're just a pawn for them. And they're saying Ricky is handled. So obviously Ricky does not like hearing that. And Joey wants to say, he says that he wants to go to the end with Ricky, Natalie, Lolo, and Tamar. Again, all the people that he has complained about a ton and said that he didn't like before. Isn't it funny how this game works? So then after, Ricky's talking to Natalie and he says he feels really good about Joey now. He trusts him and seems like he wants to move forward with this plan. So then a little later, Natalie's up in the HOH room with Kato and Tom because they're expecting an answer here. What are we doing? Are you cool with us putting up Ricky? What's going on? So she walks in, Tom's like, have a seat, let's talk. Natalie's like, no, I don't want to be here that long. And he's like, have a seat. And she's like, no. Woo! So then Tom is like, I just want to know what you and Lola want to do. And Natalie's like, we have not had time alone. We haven't had like a chance to talk about it yet. Okay. I mean, they had like 3 hours from the last time they talked. So Tom's like, okay. But Tom says, we think that the move this week is Ricky. And it's going to be weird if you guys fight us on this, but if you're really against it, then we'll just take out Joey instead. So Natalie's like, I don't know. I haven't had a chance to talk to Lolo yet. So she leaves, and Tom tells Kato, she just lied to us. They've definitely had time to talk. It's at 3 hours. Give me an effing break. Woo! So then Tom says we should put Ricky up anyway. And he's like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to tell the girls to win the veto. We're going to tell them to take down Candy. And then we're going to say that we're going to put up Tamar. But I'm really going to put up Ricky. And everyone is going to freak out. Damn. So this is one of those times where I really feel like Tom is trying to get the camera time, trying to make the show crazy, because he's mentioning like everybody's gonna freak out, it's gonna be so much fun to watch, and blah blah blah. So I think that is really a driving force behind his game. It's fun to watch, but at the same time, I would not want to be aligned with him. You're really taking a risk there. So then Natalie and Lolo talk to Tom and Kato one more time before the Power Veto competition. And as usual, it was inconclusive. The girls are saying it's not the right time to take out Ricky. The guys are saying we want to do that, but we still have time to think about it even after the competition, because they'll have like a day between the comp and the POV meeting, ceremony, whatever. So then after, Tom is telling Kato, you know what, it's more important that we maintain our relationship with the girls than try to take out Ricky. It's a little late for that. They are gone. So anyway, the feeds went down for a few hours before the Power Veto competition. The players were Tom, Joey, Candy, and then 3 extras, Natalie, Lolo, and Dina. So they were all wearing football jerseys and like the shoulder pads and everything because the Super Bowl's this weekend. But I don't think it was like a football competition. I think it was football as in soccer. So it was like a fun little twist. Okay. So Natalie won this competition. Woo! That's gonna say a lot when this Power Veto ceremony comes up. But she's saying that she would have been embarrassed if she lost this because she played soccer in college, and it sounds like this comp was basically a twist on, or some variation of Ballerina. It sounds like they were spinning around, facing off one-on-one, and then they had to like kick some balls. I don't know. I don't know, but it definitely sounds like Ballerina, but with soccer. So Natalie won, and she's planning on leaving nominations the same. She's gonna tell the guys that she doesn't feel comfortable backdooring her own teammate. Woo, alright. She's also gonna be avoiding Tom, because she does not want to have this conversation if she doesn't have to. So today, Tom and Kato had an exhausting game chat. Tom is pretty sure that the girls are gonna take them out the first chance that they get. Yeah, probably. Kato still wants to believe that they wouldn't, but it's not looking good for team fun. So Tom is talking about the Power Veto competition, and apparently he had to go a few rounds in a row, so he was like really tired and dizzy. And instead of picking Lolo, Natalie decided to pick Tom. And I think Lolo said that she had asthma or something, and Tom was like, there's no way. She's a freaking Olympic athlete, blah, blah, blah. So he was pretty pissed about that. He's like, ugh, I don't think they like us anymore. So Tom is also thinking that Lolo threw the Power Veto competition, which we heard her say 1,000 times last night. Oh, I could have won that if like my ass was on the line. I could have pulled out the win, blah, blah, blah. So then Tom brings up this crazy idea to Kato. He's like, what if the Power Veto is used and I put up Lolo? Ah! He said, everyone would vote her out because she's gotten into so many fights. And then we could make an alliance with everyone else to take out Natalie and Ricky, because he's saying everybody else would want to work with us. He was also saying that it would be good in a way if the power veto wasn't used because it would be less blood on his hands and they could just get rid of Joey because he's like the next best player after them. You don't think any of the girls are like up there as amazing players? Because I do. I don't think Tom's that good. I think Tom's really effing up. I think Kato's a good player. Tom, you're blowing it, man. I'm such a fan of Tom Green outside of the house, but his HOH week has been a total disaster. So anyway, I just don't know. Is Tom still even playing Big Brother, or is he just trying to make some crazy TV? I don't know. But he was sounding really cocky in this chat with Kato. He was also saying that, like, these competitions aren't that hard, and they could probably beat everyone in, like, all of them. Okay, so anyway, the power veto ceremony should be today at some point. I have not seen Natalie and Tom talk about it yet. I don't know if they're going to. I know Natalie's avoiding the conversation. I don't know if it's actually going to happen or not, but I think that really speaks volumes, and that is a huge we're not working together anymore thing. But anyway, it's looking like she's going to leave the nominations the same, but if you guys check back later, I will post the results in the info for the spoiler, and then we'll talk about it tomorrow. So let me know what you guys think, and until tomorrow, much love.